Good morning, parents, students, and teachers. We have this morning a young lady to come and speak with us today. She's a former Kemps Landing student, and today she will be graduating from First Colonial Legal Studies Academy. This fall, she will be attending Cornell University with a major in industrial and labor relations. Cornell nominated her as a Hunter Rawlings research scholar, which means she will be receiving aid and involved in undergraduate research on a topic of her choosing. For her senior project, she held a mass incarceration symposium featuring a panel discussion of professional individuals involved in criminal justice. The research she conducted on mass incarceration heightened her interest in systematic oppression and inequality. She hopes to focus on these topics through her major in undergraduate research. She also participated in the 2016 Model NATO Challenge and placed third as a student diplomat. Please help me in welcoming her to the podium.
Wow. I vividly remember sitting in the audience of my own Kemps Landing award ceremonies. I remember that feeling of excitement amongst my closest friends with summer so near we could almost taste it. I remember that feeling of relief with a year of hard work almost behind me. This school has undoubtedly changed since I was a student here. For one, the building is on the opposite end of town, and the hallways are much wider than the ones I once elbowed my way through. There are now new teachers and new projects and even new experiences. However, no matter how this school changes, there is one special thing about it that will always set it apart. That is the level of preparation it gives you to take on high school and think critically about the world. Last week, I graduated from the Legal Studies Academy with the Top 10 Senior Project. Today, I will graduate from First Colonial High School in the top 1% of my class, and in exactly 2 months, I will be moving into my dorm as a student of the School of Industrial and Labor Relations at Cornell University. I would have never accomplished these things if it were not for the incredible foundation that this middle school has provided me with. Consider yourselves lucky. You have attended a school that leaves your future teeming with opportunity. I do have to admit, this speech comes with a disclaimer. I'm only 18 years old myself, and I have lots of life lessons still left to experience. For that reason, there's not a whole lot I can tell you about how to live life in general, as I am still trying to figure it all out myself. However, on the wake of my own high school graduation, there is a lot I can tell you about being a student in this last leg of your K-12 education. Lesson number 1, be a friend. If you are a friend, then someone will be a friend to you. It's as simple as that. And trust me, you are going to need your friends, every single one of them. They're all going to bring something different to the table. You need that one you can count on for a productive study date, and that one you can call up at midnight with relationship problems, and that one who will eat ice cream with you after a stressful week. You need these people. The road from here is too long and winding to try and tackle it alone. That leads me to lesson number 2. Ask for help. You do not know everything, even if you like to pretend like you do. You cannot control every situation. That's not how life works. And you're going to find yourself in a sticky situation or two in these next upcoming years. So get the guidance you need. Whatever you are going through, someone has undoubtedly experienced it before. So reach out. Reach out to your friends, your counselors, your family, and your teachers. You'll be glad that you did. But reaching out can be difficult for us as humans. The reason that it is difficult is because it requires us to heed lesson number 3. Lesson number 3, be vulnerable. In all honesty, it's hard for me to stand up here and tell you this lesson, because the only reason I know its importance is that I'm still struggling to be vulnerable myself. Being vulnerable means being raw and acceptance of rejection and disappointment. Most people in their lifetime will never achieve a state of vulnerability. But unfortunately, psychological research has shown that being vulnerable makes it so much easier for us to be happy and at peace with ourselves. So I challenge you to embrace this lesson and do the things that scare you. Never be afraid to let the world see you for who you really are. Which brings me to lesson number 4. Do not be afraid to make mistakes, because you are going to make an abundance of them. At some point between now and your own high school graduation, you are going to fail at something. I apologize, because for most of you, that might be a rather depressing thought. In our society, we tend to regard mistakes and failure as the absolute worst thing that could possibly ever happen to you. And while it might feel like it at the time, sometimes we need to fall apart just a little bit in order to grow. This kind of feeds into lesson number 5. Know what you know and how you learned it. My decision to attend Kemps Landing is the best that I have ever made. You guys have learned skills here that you do not even realize you have absorbed. To be able to subconsciously apply all the research skills you have picked up on over the years is great. But to be able to say, wow, the research I did on my 6th grade science project and my 7th grade history project has really pushed me ahead as I take on this senior project. Now that is power. Realizing the importance of what you have learned prior is one of the most rewarding parts of education. And your experiences here will allow you to feel this sense of satisfaction quite a lot moving forward. Do not take it for granted. This leads us to our last and final lesson. High school is not about graduation. And if you think it is, then you're going to hate every waking moment of it. Because high school is a stressful, emotional, and scholastic roller coaster. Embrace it. Learn to love the journey and all the people who are tagging along. If you do, then all those late nights and those boy or girl problems, and that bad grade you got on that one pop quiz, and that game you lost in the last 30 seconds, and that moment that you regret, all these stressful experiences become a little less significant. They become part of the journey that just keeps on moving. And if you can look at high school with that perspective, you'll become better at accepting life's little challenges, laughing at your mistakes, and improving your future self. I know this is a bit of a cliche, but your time between now and your own high school graduation is going to fly by. For me, I blinked, and all of a sudden, I was speaking to a group of 200 younger versions of myself. Savor the moment, because this last period of childhood is worth cherishing. Trust me. The future you are about to embark on will not be easy. There will be obstacles, and lots of them, which is where I get to use one of my favorite quotes by Ralph Marston. There are plenty of difficult obstacles in your path. Do not allow yourself to become one of them. You are going to be faced with challenges, in school, at home, in sports, and in your community. Do not make your life more difficult than it already is. Do what you are passionate about. Stay positive. Don't procrastinate. Let me repeat that one. I was one of you once. Don't procrastinate. Work hard, remember your roots, and most importantly, learn to love yourself. Thank you so much. It was an honor to speak to you. Good luck to you all. I cannot wait to see what you accomplish.